Crocheting 101, a complete beginner's course for absolute beginner crocheters, created by Aaron from ABR Creations. Chapter 3, the single crochet. Once you are familiar with the chain stitches, let's learn the single crochet. The single crochet, marked with the abbreviation SC, is going to be an important stitch in crochet as you are going to be using it quite often. The single crochet is pretty easy to do if you know how to yarn over. Let's see how to do it while working in the row. First, let's make a slip knot. If you want to learn how to make the slip knot along with other stitches, click the playlist card in the description below. Next, we will chain 12. And add an extra chain. So that makes 13 chains in total. When working single crochets, you first decide how many stitches you want at the end of the row, and you must always add one extra chain so that it goes up the row evenly. For example, if I want 20 single crochets, I must chain one more so that it goes up the row evenly. This will all make sense in a bit. We are going to be making the single crochets by working into the chain stitches in the row. Once you have 13 chains, you skip this first chain and insert your hook into the second chain from your hook. It should look something like this. Then you yarn over and pull that loop through the chain where you inserted your hook. And finally, yarn over again and pull that loop through 2 loops or through all the loops on your hook. And that is how you make the single crochet. Now just repeat the steps until you have no chains left. So we insert our hook into the next chain that is just next to the stitch where we made that first single crochet over here. Don't insert the hook into the same stitch, otherwise it might create 2 single crochets into one chain, otherwise known as an increase, which we will talk about a bit later, but for now just continue making single crochets until the end. So insert your hook into the next chain, then you yarn over and pull that loop through the chain where you inserted your hook, and finally yarn over again and pull that loop through 2 loops or through all the loops on your hook. So just keep single crocheting until we have no chains left. And I will be back to show you how to start a new row. Okay, so I have just finished single crocheting into each and every chain. Once you are at the end of the row, you should make sure that you have 12 single crochets. Although we chained 13, remember how we skipped the first chain at the beginning? That is how we make the row go up evenly, and we basically chain 1 at the end of every row. To begin a new row, all you do is turn your piece and chain 1. The chain 1 only works on single crochets. If you are doing half double crochets or double crochets, then you have to chain 2, but we will cover all that in future tutorials. To continue making your next row, you will be doing exactly what you did before when you worked single crochets into chains, but instead you will insert your hook into the single crochets from row 1, like this. Make sure you insert your hook into both loops. Quick tip: the loop that is furthest from you is called the back loop, and the loop that is closest to you is called the front loop. We will cover it in detail in the future and how you can use it for different stitches, but for now, just keep single crocheting into each of the single crochets from row 1. You can crochet as many rows as you like just for practice, but make sure you work single crochets into each stitch from previous rows. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this lesson, please consider subscribing to my channel and please like this video at the end of this tutorial. If you are ready for chapter 4, click here now or the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching and get creative.